welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome. My name is Maddie, and today I'll be sharing with you the books that I want to read in December. I have 10 books on my TBR. Let's hope I get to all of them. 10 books isn't too much to read in a month. However, I might be a little busy this month because I am moving. So, yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of them, but I'll try my best. I think if I don't stray from my TBR this month and just stick to these books, just these ones that I originally have for this TBR, I'll be able to read them all. Also, side note, I am filming in a new location because, like I said, I'm in the process of moving, so my entire room just looks really tore up. This is pretty much the only place that looks decent because I'm just against a wall, so we're gonna have to deal with a boring background for the time being. With the introduction out of the way, let's just get into the books that I plan to read this month. The first one is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I am on a Colleen Hoover binge right now. I read 2 of her books last month and they were both 5-star reads for me, so I want to continue on with her other books. I want to read all of them pretty much right away, so I'm going to get to It Ends With Us next. I have heard that this book is a lot of people's favorite Colleen Hoover book, and that's why I'm very, very curious about it because it is so incredibly hyped up. So I want to know what the fuss is about. That's why it's going to be the next one I get to. I'm trying to remember what it's about. I believe it deals with like a second chance romance. So it follows that trope, which is a trope that I don't absolutely love, but because this is Colleen Hoover, I believe I'll still love it anyway, so I'm excited to get to it. Then I have A Court of Silver Flames. This is the 4th book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. So I did read A Court of Wings and Ruin last month, and I had a really hard time with that one. I just wasn't really into it, so for that reason I didn't end up reading this book last month because I just wanted to take a break after the density that was A Court of Wings and Ruin. So that's why I put it off, but I do want to try to get to it this month because I have been anticipating it. And I think I'll still like this one even though I didn't love the 3rd book because this one follows Nesta, who is a totally different main character. The last 3 books follow 𝑣𝑒. So I feel like because we're shifting in a new direction with this series, I'll like the 4th book even more because maybe I'm just kind of burned out by 𝑣𝑒. I'm like, we're done with her now. I think following a new character will be even more interesting. So we'll just see how it goes. I do still love this series, so I believe I'll still enjoy this one regardless. Then I have The Fire Between High and Low by Brittany C. Cherry. I read the 1st book in the series, which was The Air He Breathes, in October, and I really want to continue on with this series because I really enjoyed that book. Each book follows a different character, so they can be read as standalones. So I believe in this book we'll be following completely different characters, so we'll just see what happens. I don't know what it's about, but I'm sure I'll like it because I love the 1st book. Then I have the next 3 books in the Briar U series by Elle Kennedy that I need to read. Right now I'm currently reading The Risk, and I'm really enjoying it so far, so I'm excited to read all of these. What I'm going to do, I usually don't do this. I never binge read series, but I think I'm going to binge read these series and just read them back to back, just because I enjoyed the Off-Campus series so much, and this series is a spin-off series of that series. So because I enjoyed those, I just feel like I'm just going to continually enjoy these enough to binge read them and read them back to back. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue reading The Risk and then immediately get into the next book, which is The Play, and then The Dare. So I'm really excited to read the rest of these for this month. And then the rest of the books on my TBR I have on my Kindle, except for one of these. I think I'm going to try to get one of these in paperback. Let's see. I need to do that really soon if I plan to read it this month. But let's talk about that one first. That one is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I believe I put this on my TBR for November. I can't quite remember if I did. I think I did, but I didn't end up getting to it in November. So I'm going to try to get to it in December. I really enjoy Penelope Douglas's books. I've read 2 of her books before. That was Birthday Girl and Punk 57. I really enjoyed those, and I've heard so many good things about this series, so I really want to start it. I know it's a dark romance, and that's all I know about it, so I'm sure I'll be really into it because I love dark romances. I'll always love them. The next one is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. So I have a story with this book. So I did try reading this book in 2019, I think. Yeah, 2019 sounds about right. I tried reading it. I got like maybe 3 chapters into it before I put it down because I wasn't into it, which is really weird because this sounds like a book I would love. It follows these two characters, and if I can remember, they are rivals because they both work at the same company, and I think they're fighting for a position, so they're rivals because of that. But they have a connection, and so this is an enemies to lovers story. And I love the enemies to lovers romance trope, so I don't really know why I didn't connect with this book initially. I'm kind of thinking because during the time I picked it up, I had just got finished reading 30 books in 1 month. It's something I never did. I read so many books that month that I think I was burnt out from reading. Like, after that was the start of my 2-year reading slump. So I think because of that, I was just too burned out from reading to continue on reading this one. That might be the case. So we'll see if that's the case. I'm going to try this one again. And if I still end up not being into it by the first few chapters, then I'll know it is up for me and I'll put it down. But I want to give this one a try because it is so popular. It's one of like the most popular romance books as of right now. And it's also getting a movie adaptation. So that's also why I really want to read it. So I'm going to try it again. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I enjoy it more the second time. Next, I have Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is yet another romance book that I've heard so many good things about. I've heard great things about this series, and I believe it also has a spin-off series that also gets a lot of hype, so I want to know what the hype is about. I feel left out, so that's why I'm going to start it. And I do know a little bit of what this one is about. It follows these two characters. One has an addiction to alcohol, the other has an addiction to sex. They end up getting into a relationship, and I think they deal with those addictions somehow. That's all I know. That's the basic premise I know about it, but it sounds really interesting, so I'm going to try it out, and hopefully I like it because it's a super hyped series. And the last book I'm going to try to get to this month is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. Another really hyped romance. I'm just trying to get to a lot of hyped romances this month, it looks like. This one sounds really, really cute. It's about this guy, and he inherits an amusement park that was owned by his father, so he's trying to manage it, but he needs, I can't quite remember. The girl he gets involved with, I think she becomes a designer for the rides of this amusement park. I think so. So they get involved with each other, and that's the whole premise. I feel like I like this one because it takes place at an amusement park, and I love Disneyland, so I'm wondering if this will have kind of like a Disneyland vibe to it. We'll see about that. That'd be super, super cool. So I'm really interested into this one, and I've heard so many good things about it, so we'll see how it goes. So before I sign off of this video, I'm going to do what I did in my last TBR, and I'm going to pick a book at random from my Goodreads to be read shelf using a random number generator, and whatever book that lands on is the book that I'll add to my TBR. I do this because sometimes I forget about the books on my TBR shelf on Goodreads, and so getting one at random and adding that to my TBR forces me to read that book so that now I haven't forgotten about it and I actually do read it. Because I have a lot of books on my TBR, so I forget about them sometimes and which books I've added to it. So let's just do that and see what comes up. Oh! I'm actually excited for this one. So the book that came up was Bully by Penelope Douglas. What are the odds? Okay. Oh, I'm happy that came up. So, because I have to force myself to read it now. So, I wasn't planning to start any other Penelope Douglas book for this TBR during this month because I was already going to pick up Corrupt. So, I was going to focus on that series first. But now I have to read the first book in this series. So, okay. I'm excited because I've been wanting to read all of her books. So, this series, it follows, I know it follows the romance bully trope. That's all I know about it, but I've heard good things about it. Really good things. So I'm really interested to see what this one is all about. So I'm going to try to get to it right away for this month since it is my random pick for this month, and I want to try to get to my random picks every single month. So yeah, I'll try it out right away, and yeah, I'm excited for it. That was my TBR for the month of December. Like I said, I hope to get to all of these. And can we also mention the fact that I don't have a single, no, not one single YA book on this TBR. And I didn't read a single YA book in November, and I think that officially tells me I have outgrown YA. And it's so weird because I never thought I would grow out of young adult books. Those used to be the only books I read, but I'm just not interested in YA anymore. Like, I'll read a YA contemporary once in a while, but I definitely will never read YA fantasy. I'm just not interested in fantasy in the YA genre anymore. But really, I only read new adult and adult books. It's so weird. It's just those are the only things I want to read, at least for right now. So, just unusual for me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, whether you liked them or you didn't like them. I would really like to know. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more anime-related videos and book-related videos. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, those links are in the description box, and I'll be back really soon. Bye!